Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dugout. We are back again for another episode, and who's this guy?
It's me, I'm back. I came back for one episode, disappeared for two, and now I'm back again.
How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, just being busy as, that's why I haven't been on the podcast recently. But yeah, not being too bad. I wish I was on last week, because I was at Brighton were winning games, and now I've come back and we've lost, so it's just like, I've missed the opportunity to gloat.
Yeah, but you could talk about the 2-0 at the weekend. Actually, before we do, I think we need to... Jacob, you've got something very big going this weekend. And even though we're a football podcast, we want to commend what people do in their lives. So, do you want to explain to people what you're actually doing?
So, on this weekend, or the Saturday when this gets posted, or Friday, I'll be competing in my first ever Hyrox race with one of my friends.
Yes!
I've been training for it for around a month or so that's another reason why I haven't been on the podcast. Life has just been busy as. So yeah, I've got a Hyrox this Saturday. Race is at 5 in the evening, not in the morning, thankfully. But yeah, I think it'll be good. Never done it before. Be a fun experience. And then afterwards, I'll decide if I want to do it again. Because if I do it and I hate it, then yeah, I'm not signing up ever again.
And you're raising money, aren't you?
Yes, I am raising money for Macmillan, which is a cancer support. So yeah, I've got a little fundraiser going on. So yeah,
we'll pop a link in the description because I imagine you'll keep it open for a while.
Oh yeah, I think it stays open for a while. So yeah, we'll shove it in the description if you guys want to be nice and generous and even shove in £1 or anything small. Any little helps. Going to a great cause, so
that's brilliant, mate.
Looking forward to it.
When you were training for this, we went to watch Thomas. Funny enough, Thomas play football, and so basically we watched it at the Horsham station, and Jacob was like, "I'm gonna run back home," and I was like, "Jacob, you live miles away." And he was like, "Yeah, I know, but I need to get training." I was like, "Jacob, you've just watched a game of football in the freezing cold, and you're gonna run home."
That's what it wasn't warm. It was pitch black. It was freezing. And all I had was my shorts and a jacket, and then I managed to find a high-vis jacket in the car. And I was running down this hill, which obviously if you don't live in Horsham, whatever, it's a pitch black hill, which is pretty steep. It's on a main road. There's no lights, so running down that in the freezing cold, I was like, if I fall over it and a car comes, I'm gone. It was one of the sketchiest things ever, but I mean, it had to be done. I was tempted to skip it. But I was like, if I skip it, then the whole plan's out the window.
How long did it take you to get home that night?
Like 40 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Which is meant, because it's like a 15-minute drive. So it's like, I think I ran 8k. It was an 8k run basically home.
Amazing.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad, just a bit chilly.
No, you smashed it, mate. And honestly, respect for what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. As your uncle, if people still don't realise this is my nephew, as your uncle, I'm very proud of you. I'll be donating. And
amazing.
Good job, mate. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. And yeah, if you listen, pop it in the description and click on the link, and then we will donate if you can. Any money is any money.
Anything.
Especially this time of year with Christmas coming up. But there's been a lot of football going on. I mean, I feel like we're gonna leave Liverpool alone this week because they got a draw and a win, which is an improvement.
Manager for the month you should go for now. That's the...
It's been a crazy few weeks of football. We'll talk FPL because I know there is a big change in FPL. For the first time this podcast, I think actually I'm not top of the table.
Yeah, I think this is the first time the table has changed.
And actually, I think it's very, very close. So we'll get into FPL talking a bit later. But what we'll be doing, before we get into what we're going to majorly do on this podcast, over the weekend of football, we saw a big result in the Premier League. Obviously, Chelsea and Arsenal, big game. I mean, it was an awful game. We watched it together, but it was an awful game of football.
To be fair, first half was very boring. Second half picked up a bit. But I think that game Chelsea would be annoyed with the point. I think Chelsea were the better side out of the two.
It's just a shame that the red card happened because I just looked at it and I just went. It came at such a pivotal point. I mean, I don't really like Anthony Taylor very much, as Jake could probably tell when he was watching the game with me. It was. I feel like he just carded people so early. It was a London derby. And I think because he was carding people so early, everyone was just getting irate. And then it just created a bad tempo for the game. And everyone was just trying to get everyone booked or sent off. And I just felt that spoilt the game in my opinion.
Well, I think as soon as he gave the first yellow in like the first minute, I knew there was going to be a red card. I was like, if he's already that trigger happy with yellow cards, I was like, all it's going to take is a high foot from Caicedo and he's getting sent off. I was like, there's no way doubt about it.
Is it a red card? Is it a red card?
Yeah. I think the speed he goes in, yes. I think if he came in just a little bit slower, a yellow I think's fair. But it's because he's come outside quite quick pace, straight above the ankle. I think
I mean, he's going for the ball, and I was listening to, funny enough, the rest of his football on with Gary Lineker, and he was saying, I don't know if that's a red card. Because he says slow motion, when you slow things down, it makes everything worse. And I get slow motion is important because you see challenges that Caicedo challenge, I think we all went, I think that's a bit interesting. But I feel like when you watch it in slow motion, it makes the foul look it makes it look like he's gone into endanger his opponent, which he wasn't. He was going in for the ball. And
it's like the freeze frame.
It's
when they freeze frame it as well. They're like, they freeze it at the contact. You're like, that looks horrible. Because obviously, the freeze frame was legit his boot going into, I can't remember whose ankle it was, Marino's ankle, I think.
Marino.
But I think in this day and age, yes. I think because obviously fouls are so soft now, I think in this day and age, obviously a few years ago, probably not. But I just think the way football's going, I think a red's fair enough. Annoyingly,
it's a tough one because I think it just ruined the game. Having said that, I thought Chelsea played.
I think you played better with 10 men. I genuinely think you played much better with 10 men.
It's so annoying because you just look at Chelsea at the moment, and I just feel like we were on a good run. I think the Arsenal game we should have beaten them. I thought we were the better team even without 10 men. Even before the 10 men, we were the better side. I think. And then it's just so annoying when you have a performance like that, and then the Leeds game the other night was just it was terrible, mate. I was watching the game and I looked at Chelsea and I just went, we're a good side, and I just don't. And I get midweek fixtures change things and changes of lineup, but I think these are the games where I think Maresca loses it a little bit, and I feel like, and do you know what I think is really frustrating, and Chelsea fans find this completely. Why are we taking Esteval over half-time in every game? Giving him 45 minutes. He's a young, exciting kid who tore apart Barcelona. And every single game, I feel like we get to half-time and then I see Garnacho or Neto or Tyreek George warming up and I go, what's the point of taking him off? Like I don't think the first half against Leeds he was brilliant, but he was certainly showing a lot more than Gittins, Pedro and Delap. And Delap was terrible, but...
I think it's hard because he plays on the right, don't he, Esteval? And then you've got Neto who plays on the right, who's obviously in form at the moment. Garnacho can play left and right. I think it's because he's young. I think that's the only thing that's stopping him at the moment with Maresca. I think Maresca goes, he's good, he's young, we just don't want... I don't think they want to rush him in to get snapped injured and then he's out for God knows how long. I think he's managing him at the moment.
And I get that. I do get that. And... it's just frustrating because when you know what a talent that you've got on your books, you just go... I mean, that game against Leeds the other night, we were just... there was just nothing up top. Neto came on, made a slight difference, but none of the players up front were looking any decent. I just go, what's the point of taking the one player that could take the ball and drive past 2 or 3 men? Yeah. And it just frustrates me. And
did Palmer play that game?
He came on, but he doesn't look match fit. I don't think he's fully fit at the moment, but it's positives to get him back in the team, and not just positives for Chelsea, but positives for England because we need to get a fully fit Cole Palmer for the England squad by far. But title race, I mean, it's looking very much like
Arsenal's.
I mean, do you know what they do? Is just when they don't play well, they still get a result. It's hard to say, and I've said this a couple of times when we spoke. Judge Arsenal later on in the season, but they don't look great, but they look professional.
Yeah, I mean they're getting the job done. Like, what's it? They won 2-0. Was it last night? Again, another comfortable win. They didn't. Yeah, they scored in the last minute to make it 2-0, but they were never in trouble. No, let's be honest here. Brentford didn't do anything. And yeah, I mean, the only ones you got challenging at the moment was obviously Chelsea, but you've dropped off. I guess it's just City now, really. Yeah. Are the only ones that But even then, they've had a cracking game against Fulham, 5-4.
5-4, what a game!
Like
what a game.
Then they're not the City that they're like defensively really good. They're a City you can get at. So that's what I mean. It's just like Arsenal have it all. They can score goals and they can defend. And it's just like they don't need to play fancy football if they can defend. So it's just like I think the title's theirs.
It seems very much like Gyökeres doesn't suit Arteta. So I think this whole Mourinho-Havertz thing, Gyökeres is back fit, but Mourinho's starting up front. And I feel like...
He scored again.
Yeah, he scored again. And do you know what? You've got to give that guy credit because he's a central midfielder and they put him up front, which he's never played before in his life. And he looks a natural number 9. I mean, for FPL players, I don't know why I did not have him in my team.
I was going to say he's a midfielder in FPL. You'd be getting points galore.
Yeah, exactly. He's quality. I think he's a really, really good player. But title race is it Arsenal or is it too long?
Nah, I think if Arsenal were to not win the title now, I think it'll be one of the biggest bottles ever.
Really, bottle?
I think it's a bottle because what's it? They're 7 points clear. 7 points, I think it is.
They're
or 5 points.
They're 5 points clear at the moment of Manchester City.
They're 5 points clear. They've already played, obviously, City. They've already played Liverpool. Already played Chelsea, Tottenham. I just don't see. I'm looking at the table now, and you've got Arsenal first on 33, City on 28. Villa on 27 and then you lot on 24. I still think there's a gap in class between Arsenal and City.
Do you know what? I agree.
I think if they don't win the league, they failed, basically.
What do you think of Manchester City? I mean,
they're so fun to watch. I generally love watching them because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they look weird, don't they? Because sometimes you sit there and go, they look a good side. And then sometimes I look at them and go, they're nowhere near a Premier League title. And part of me thinks if they didn't have Ireland, where would they be?
Oh, I mean, he's a robot. Everyone knows he's a robot. He's the quickest to get 100 goals in the Premier League.
Respect to him, Respect to him.
He's the quickest. And he could have got it sooner, to be honest. He had 2 games beforehand he should have scored in. So
when you triple captained him?
Yeah, when I triple captained him, and then the week after he scores 2 and gets 2 assists or whatever it is, something stupid. Knew it was going to happen. It was so obvious.
Shocking, isn't it?
I think City, they can score the goals. It's proven it. Like they can score the goals. I just think their defence is very shaky. Donnarumma is terrible at claiming corners. He's a good shot stopper and a good penalty saver, but when it comes to whipping the ball in the box, he is useless.
Yeah, he's a bit fluffy, isn't he?
And then, I think it's just their defence that lets them down. I think their defence is the weakest point. Their midfield's good. Their forward line speaks for itself. Whereas Arsenal have the whole package. So I just don't think... They'll be annoyed, but I just think they're going to just be too far away now to catch them. Yeah,
I agree. I think... I agree. Arsenal, I think it's very much in their hands, but whether that will benefit Arsenal from that way, but I don't know. And we've just seen Dalot's just scored. Man United are 1-0 up. We're watching this actually when Man United are playing Wolves. Funny enough.
Who's got the assist?
Here we go.
Nah, no one's got it. No one's got the assist.
Nah,
hasn't popped up yet, so I don't know.
Okay. I know you want Mbeumo. I know what's happening. Well, let's go on to what we're going to do this podcast. I thought as me and Jacob were getting on. This is something that I think's really risen to the crop in sort of football media. So we're going to jump on the bandwagon. Football hot takes. So this is basically, if you don't know what a hot take is, it's a very controversial opinion that you might be the only one that shares, but it might be a very valid opinion. And some of these, I'm not against them actually being reasonable. So what we're going to do is we're going to read out a hot take that I've seen online from fans, and then basically me and Jake are going to debate whether we agree or disagree with this hot take.
Sound good? I mean, I'm a fan of doing a hot take, so I will enjoy this.
We'll find out one of Jacob's hot takes as well as we go later on.
I've got quite a few.
The first one, I think a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon of this lately, but it's about Virgil van Dijk. Now, the hot take is Virgil van Dijk is not a top 3 centre-back in Premier League history. Now, I mean, already if we've got Liverpool fans watching, I know what they'll do. They'll throw their arms in the air in despair. But
God, thank God Josh ain't on here. Jesus.
Yeah, Josh will be furious with this because I think a lot of Liverpool fans are so convinced that this guy is not even just in top 3, that he's number 1. I think this is a very difficult one.
I'm trying to think who would the top 3 would be if he wasn't in the list. And
well, I don't think he's number 1. I don't think he's number 2. I think 3 you could argue potentially is number 3, but for me...
Who would be on that list? Obviously, John Terry's up there.
John Terry, I think, is number 1. Ferdinand would be number 2.
Ferdinand.
I'd say... Well, let's talk about ones that are in conversation. You've got Company is in competition. I think if you look at standalone, maybe in just terms of ability, you'd look at maybe Yapstam. I think you'd look at Sol Campbell. I would go Nemanja Vidic. I think there's some Ricardo Carvalho. Big names.
I think he's definitely Liverpool's best defender in the Premier League by far. So we can take that out of the course. There's no Liverpool defender better than him.
I think Man City would throw maybe John Stones in, but I don't know.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong, John Stones is good, but not over Van Dijk. The only 2, but then that would make him top 3 then. Because the only 2 that I'm kind of like, who would I put ahead of him, is obviously John Terry and then Ferdinand.
You've got Tony Adams as well, but I suppose it was quite hard for him because he was sort of end beginning.
I was going to say, that's before my time, that was.
Yeah, I was going to say, and he's also like, he was more in the... before it became the Premier League.
Division 1, yeah.
I just think with Virgil van Dijk, do you know what? There was someone, and I can't remember who it was, but I think it might have been, I don't know, I can't remember who it was. Part of me thinks it was, I can't remember who it was. I'm not going to even quote them just in case. But I remember someone saying
about it.
That Van Dijk didn't, when you think of the forwards that Rio and JT and Adams and Campbell and all these people that you speak about, Company, Vidic, you think of the forwards that they had to play against, and then you look at the crop of forwards that Van Dijk's had to play against. And that's not Van Dijk's fault, because it's not his fault that he's been in this generation. But I think football has become more placid in the more recent years when Van Dijk's been at his best.
I'm trying to think, because Van Dijk dealt with Kane, dealt with obviously Aguero, obviously Haaland now. Trying to think of other players that have... he wasn't there when Diego Costa was about for Chelsea, was he?
No, but this is what you're talking about. You're struggling to find like the names in
Hazard.
That.
Hazard was about...
You go for Rio and JT. You could without even naming the best of the best, like your Shearers, your Henrys, and things like that. You've got people like Yakubu, Mark Viduka, Kevin Phillips banging 20, 30 goals in every season. And we're struggling to name elite forwards in Van Dijk's time.
I think now that I'm deep in it, I think I would say he is top 3. I think the only one that I think just misses out is Company.
Not Vidic.
Vidic was a bit... This is annoying. I mean, football fans are going to hate this, but I didn't get into football till I was like a bit older.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember too much of Vidic. So I'm going it more for more recently biased, basically. I
think Company was just... I think Company as well. People forget this of Vincent Company, but think of the big moments that Company had. You know, title-winning goals. Title-winning goals at Manchester City. Whereas... And don't get me wrong, I think when you do these kind of things, it's easy to just butcher Van Dijk a bit more than actually pay him credit. Because you're trying to agree with the hot take. But Van Dijk is class. But
I think he's just coming to the end of his career. I think because what is he? Mid-30s?
Yeah, he's 34 now. Yeah, he's 34.
Yeah, so he's mid-30s, and you got to think some of these defenders retired at 34.
Oh yeah, Rio was at QPR at 32.
That's what I mean. So I think obviously recently he's been a bit meh. Everyone's gone, oh, this is what Van Dijk is like in his prime. He's terrible. But if you give it like a couple seasons ago, everyone kind of destroys the record of like, oh, he wasn't dribbled past in a whole season, and he only wasn't dribbled past because he didn't actually challenge the man. But still, it's still an impressive stat.
Yeah.
I just think people are just jumping to conclusions with him. I quite like him. I liked him at Southampton. Liked him at Liverpool. I think I disagree. I'd say he is top 3 for me. I think.
I do you know what? I actually would agree with it. I disagree with not top 3. I think he probably is in there, but I think what I would say is I think the argument potentially to make it a hot take is he's not the best centre back in Premier League history.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't say he's the best. I think John Terry.
I think JT and Rio are just the 2, and I think Van Dijk is in that conversation. But yeah. So we disagree with that hot take. So the next one is actually a very interesting one because actually, do you know what? Sometimes, and I might get absolutely butchered for saying this, but when you play for, let's just call them the not big 6 clubs, sometimes you can have very, very good players there that don't get spoke about in arguments. And the argument is, obviously, I think if you speak about who are the best midfielders in the Premier League, the argument at the moment always seems to be Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo. Yeah. But actually the hot take of this is that Sandro Tonali is the best Premier League midfielder. Now, one thing you've got to give him is he's class.
He is. He's really good. He's really good. He does what he does. I think he's one of Newcastle's better players. And the fact that they got him was impressive. I think he was one of the first, big names to come. Was it spent 70 mil on him, or wasn't it?
Yeah, he was massive.
It was big money.
60, 70 mil.
It's big money, and I think it's paid off. I do like him, but the way he plays on the ball, picks passes out, defends. He's the whole package, basically, Tonali is. He's very impressive. But to say he's better than Rice and Caicedo, I think the debate's closer than you think, but I wouldn't say he is better. Because you look at what Caicedo's done, you look at what Rice has done, they're both... it's hard because I think they all play different positions.
But have they been better because they're playing at... It's hard to say better clubs because Newcastle are a good team, but at the bigger clubs.
No, because Caicedo was brilliant for us.
They were never in the conversation before they went.
No, but if you were... I mean, I'm a Brighton fan, so I did watch him play when he played for Brighton. But if you watched him play for Brighton, he plays the way he does at Chelsea. Everyone knew Caicedo was going to be this big player at Brighton. And we knew we weren't ever going to keep this guy for longer than 2 seasons. So I think that the ability was always there with Caicedo. So I don't think he could play for bloody Bromley and still be really good. So I don't think it matters what team he plays for. I think, and then Rice on the other hand, he proved it at West Ham again, not a big club, and was their best player and won them the European trophy. So I don't think the clubs affect where people rate them. I just think, alright, I'm going to put myself on the spot here. If I was to rate them on a top 3 basis, I think I would probably go...
I think Rice is the best.
I was going to say probably English bias as well. I'll go Rice, Caicedo, Tonali. I think that... I mean, they are the top 3, I think, in the league at the moment.
I think Tonali is just so... He's just so graceful on the ball. His passing ability is just... It's just second to none. I think the way he sprays the ball about, dictates play in a very... very harsh to say because I think there's some very good players in that Newcastle midfield, but I think he's the more better on the ball out of the 3. Joe Linton and Gomes. I think he's... Do you know what? That's another one actually. Bruno Gomes. He's got to be in the conversation as well. And I think sometimes when you play for those, no disrespect to Newcastle, but those lesser teams, you get forgotten about in these arguments. And it's like Shearer. We still say Shearer was class, even though he played for Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I think, I think I disagree with this statement because I think the best midfielder in the Premier League is Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is just... I think there's not an asset to his game that I think Declan Rice cannot do.
No, I think I agree as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Because and also I'm not saying it, but it's closer than you think with Tonali. I genuinely think Tonali is in the conversation with the best midfielders in the league at the moment. Definitely, I'm not discrediting him, but I think Rice just has that all-around package. But then I don't watch Tonali on a weekly basis, so I'm not too sure. He might have the whole package.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's, for me, Rice, Caicedo, then Tonali. I think that's how I'd rate them.
I would agree. I would actually agree. But I think Tonali is a very good player. Next one. This is probably maybe the biggest controversial take on here in terms of like how big it is. It's about the England squad, and obviously we're talking about players, who's going to go to the England squad, which one's Tuchel going to pick, and this is very extreme. But there's part of me, and I know it's crazy because of the couple of weeks he's had, he's been brilliant. But this one is Phil Foden shouldn't be in the England squad. So not in the starting 11, shouldn't be in the squad at all. Ooh, do you know what? Harsh. I think this is a very, very tricky one because is Phil Foden a world-class player or a world-class player has world-class abilities? Yes, I would say so. I think Phil Foden on the ball is fantastic, and I think people really threw him under the bus last year because of how bad it was. But Phil Foden for me is a brilliantly gifted, talented footballer. But on the other end of the scale, I've never seen him do it in England's shirt. And with squads like England have, with the quality of players that we have, are we taking Phil Foden just because of a name? Will he affect the England team?
Yeah.
Has he done it since he's ever played for England? We saw at the last Euros, he was stuck on the left wing where he shouldn't be playing. But
I was going to say, I think that was a formation issue.
He was bad. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he scored, was it 4 in 2?
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Got 2 against Fulham and then got 2 against Leeds the Saturday before.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a confidence player. I think during the Euros and the season after, he lacked confidence. Mm-hmm. So he obviously dropped out of the team. But now, these last few games since he's come back, he looks incredible. He's shooting from outside the box. The goals he's scored are great goals.
Yeah.
So it proves there is a player in there. And to say Phil Foden shouldn't be in the England squad, I think it's very harsh, and I can see the points of why he shouldn't be in there. And he hasn't really played much in the qualifiers, I don't think.
No, but he's been injured, isn't he, as well?
That's what I mean. So there is a player in there, and I get it. Yeah, he hasn't really done anything for England, but I think that was just a formation and manager issue. Being shoved on the left, I just don't think that's his position.
It's a busy squad for I was going to say Southgate. Oh my god, it's programmed. It's a busy squad for Tuchel because you look at the 10 situation: Bellingham, Palmer, Foden, Rodgers, Eze, just to name a couple. Like you just go 5 big players.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have people miss out. You are going to have people that miss out. But I mean, it's a good issue to have. It's good to actually have players be like, "Oh, who the hell do I pick?" I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go. Let's just say that if he wasn't on the squad list to not go, I'd be like, "Okay, fair enough. I can't argue with that." But if he does go, I'm the exact same. Fair enough. Can't argue with that. He's on that. He's on that. Yeah, the boundary of like, if he goes, he goes. If he doesn't, I'm not fussed.
I just think there's quality in the England squad that I think just to play devil's advocate, is Phil Foden so harsh to say, is he useful for England?
Yeah, I think so. I think he brings something a bit different to what Palmer brings, what Eze brings. I mean, he's a completely different player to what Bellingham would bring. Yeah, it's hard. We're stacked in midfield. We are very blessed in midfield, in all positions.
I just think with England squads, and I think this is what Tuchel needs to really go into, is you're looking for effectiveness off the bench. And I think when things aren't working, you don't need sometimes the best players on the pitch. You need the best quality on the pitch, and people that are going to come on and make a difference. And I just think, I know it sounds crazy for me to say, but part of me actually thinks, and there's no world that I think Phil Foden is not better than these footballers, but I think if England need a goal, I think Eze and Rodgers coming on, grab the ball, drive with the ball. Whereas I think Phil Foden is a bit stand-stilly on the ball, which I think is something that England don't need. If I'm being it's very harsh to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I agree. I wouldn't agree or disagree with this statement. I don't think. I'm in the mind of like I wouldn't be fussed if he comes, and I wouldn't be fussed if he doesn't. Because as you said, he wouldn't start. Let's just be honest. He wouldn't start in that midfield for England. And that's no disrespect to me. He's a good player. But then, as you say, who would you want to bring off the bench? I'd rather bring on an Eze than bring on a Foden. Because I think Eze brings out a bit more creativity, a bit more spark. Oh, yeah, let's whip the ball in, let's do this. Than a Foden would bring. But then, I mean, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Foden could have that in his locker. But yeah, that is a tough one. That is a very, very tough one. Very tough one. But yeah, I just think we're just so blessed with that midfield option when it comes to them. So yeah, wouldn't be fussed if he isn't picked or is picked.
I agree. I think that's a good shout. Next one is I can't stand this question. Arteta on current form is the best manager in the Premier League.
No. What currently or altogether? Like whole Premier League era?
I think this is just what the statement says. It on current is the best manager in the Premier League. So in terms of the job that's being going on, and I think with this as well, it's hard to say currently because you have to take into consideration like the managers that are actually in this league, like Pep. I mean, if we're being real, Pep is the best manager in the Premier League.
I was going to say he's won it. 6 times?
So he is the best manager in the Premier League, but is he the best manager in the Premier League?
It's very hard how it's worded. It's very hard how it's worded.
Arsenal, he was probably one of the best managers in the league, but wasn't. It's a hard one to say.
Yeah, I think Pep. Even though they're not first, they're second. I think Pep's still the best manager in the Premier League.
Well, let's just talk about the fact of the matter. Let's just take away the other managers. Let's talk about Arteta.
Yeah.
Is he the best manager? Can he be the best manager in the Premier League? My argument is, and I said this to Tom last week on the podcast, and I don't know whether you agree with me on this. I sit there and I think Mikel Arteta is the only thing that's stopping me from really thinking Arsenal are going to win the league. And it's crazy to say this because they're so far ahead.
Yeah.
But a team with how good they've been this season, we should be sitting there going, "That's it. It's done. They're good. They're going to win it. They are the best team by an absolute mile, and they're probably going to win it. It's going to be impossible for anyone to catch them." And I just think with the squad of players they've got, the depth they've got, we should be thinking that. And I think the only reason we're not thinking that, and we think Arsenal might not do it, is actually, I think, Arteta. And I think what really makes me sit there and go, can you claim Arteta to be the best manager in the Premier League with no trophies? And I think you can have an argument of go, there's been mitigating circumstances. But I actually think the mitigating circumstances are, the reason there's no trophies at Arsenal is actually when the pressure hits and Arteta has the opportunity to win trophies, there's a bottle. And it doesn't matter whether it's bottling the league to Manchester City twice in a row, losing a semi-final to Newcastle last year in the Carabao Cup, losing to Man United last year in the FA Cup, who were terrible. It's losing to a PSG team when naturally they were in a good position. Yeah. It's a hard thing to say that...
Because the only trophy he has won is the FA Cup in his first season, wasn't it?
And it wasn't really his team.
No, that's what I mean. One thing that is stopping me from saying he is the best Premier League manager in the Premier League, if you look back at it, it took Pep, 2 seasons to win the league when he first came in?
One season. He won it.
Took Arne Slot 1 season, won the league instantly. It took Claudio Ranieri 1 season for Leicester to win the league. Who else can I list off?
Conte
Mourinho,
1 season.
Conte 1 season. Mourinho 1 season. How long has it taken Arteta to win the Premier League? He hasn't won it yet, and he's been there for 4 or 5 seasons now.
This is his sixth full season.
6, yeah. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from saying he's better than Pep. Because if you look back on the long list of managers that have come in and won the league off their first season, it's taken him 6 seasons to build a team and then to finally, well, if they do it, finally win the league. So yeah, I just think it's taken him a lot more time than it has taken other managers, and I think that's just what shows class.
I think sometimes, Jake, and I don't know whether you agree with me, I think sometimes you sit there and go, you have to sometimes judge manager just pound for pound, not just who's in the best job. Like, Arsenal probably could be top of the league right now and have, very hard, Marco Silva in charge. That doesn't make Marco Silva the best manager in the Premier League. Sometimes, and I think we as football fans are very judgmental on this, and I sit there and I go, just because you're at the best clubs doesn't mean you're the best managers, and just because you're in the top four doesn't mean you're a better manager than someone who's a bit further down but doing a very good job. And I think the argument is Unai Emery. I still don't think Arteta's better than Unai Emery. I think look at what Emery is doing with Aston Villa. He's just
they're third and they're still challenging in Europe.
And they started terribly.
Yeah, so I mean they didn't win. They didn't score a goal in the first 4 games. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's going to get sacked!" Like it was a sackable offence. And then he's got 8 wins in a row now. I think it is.
Yeah,
something
8 wins in a row. Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're now third in the league. And I wouldn't be past it. I was about to actually bring that point up, to be honest, saying you might be at a top club. It doesn't mean you're a good manager. Like, no offence to Maresca, but he's a manager for Chelsea, but there's several managers below him I think are better managers than him.
Iraola, Glasner.
Iraola, Glasner. There's not Marcus. I don't know what I was going to say, Marcus Silva. I disagree with that heavily. That statement. I think
I disagree.
There's one clear winner. It's the guy who's won it God knows how many times. And he also, when he came to the Premier League, everyone copied his football. So it's Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
it's Pep Guardiola. Yeah, he's.
Plus, I think the brand of football that Arteta plays is ugly, and I don't think that makes you a better manager than someone who plays nice football. Yeah. But I agree. Next one is, it's sort of flowing into Arsenal a little bit. City are nowhere near the Premier League title. Very, very interesting question. City are nowhere near the Premier League title.
Nowhere near. To be fair, I did say if Arsenal don't win it, then it's a bottle. But then it's City. City could go on a bloody 10 winning streak or whatever, and then they've won the league. They've done it. They've done it so many times.
I don't know about Man City, Jacob. I still don't know. I think Haaland has masked a lot of Manchester City this season. I look at their team, and I mean, we spoke about it earlier about the title race in general, so we won't speak about this too much. But I look at their defence, and I do think Nunes at right back. I don't think so.
He's sloppy. He's very sloppy.
O'Reilly,
he doesn't play now. He doesn't play now. It's Oh no, he does. Never mind, ignore me.
Yeah, he does. He's in my FPL, Jacob.
Yeah, yeah, he does. I was going to say, I got them mixed up. I thought O'Reilly played on the right, but he doesn't. He plays on the left.
Yeah, O'Reilly. But O'Reilly, again, he's a midfielder by trade. I just look at it and I just go, I think their midfield is slow. I think it's a bit sloppy. I just think Haaland just bags goals. And this is where I do think, are they actually close to the Premier League title? Or is Haaland just masking actually what Manchester City are?
Well, I mean, all their goals go through him. If it's not him scoring, it's him assisting, or if it's not, then it's an off day for him. Yeah, I did say it before, so I'll stick by it. If Arsenal don't win the league, then it's a bottle. So I'd say it's the way it's worded as nowhere near. That's why I'm like, oh my god. But when you do deep it, I did say if Arsenal weren't to win it, there's a bottle. So do you think I do have to agree with it? I think I do.
I agree with it, and I
say
the reason
vice
I agree
versa,
with it is I actually don't know where Manchester. I don't know where. I look at Arsenal, and when I go into games, I sit there and go, I don't think Arsenal are going to lose this game. Whereas there's times I go into games for Manchester City and I think City will lose this game.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They concede goals. I think at this moment in time, City's game is we've got to score more than you. Because if they don't, then they're not winning.
Yeah.
Again, we saw it against Fulham. Like, they were 5-1 up, and then Fulham brought it back to 4-5. Same against Leeds. They were 2-0 up, and then Leeds brought it back to 2-2. And it was only last minute they won 3. So that's mean that defensively they are poor, I think, City. Yeah. And as you said, that's because they have O'Reilly on the left back and Nunes on the right back, who both fullbacks aren't fullbacks. I just think defensively they're miles off it, I think, to win the league.
I agree.
So I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I agree. We'll do one more and then we'll head into the last bit of our podcast. This is an interesting one. It's a shame we haven't got Tom on this, but he might pop up halfway through. Thomas Frank is not the problem at Spurs.
Is this one of yours, David?
This is not one of mine. This is actually funny enough, I could not agree more with this statement.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I thought it was yours.
But this was actually a fan. I mean, it was a dig to find it, but because I think loads of Tottenham fans are Frank out. But
yeah,
I don't think he is. I think it's a very easy thing for Tottenham fans to say Frank out, and okay, football fans, you do your football the way you want to support your club and the way you want your club to be, and I get that. But I just think if you're asking for Frank out, I just go, but what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, and I know we joke about it and we go, it's an improvement. You finished 17th last year, and they go, oh really? But I'm telling you right now, it's a big job at that Tottenham ground at the moment to build that Tottenham team, because, and I said this and Tottenham fans can't get out of their head. In terms of winning the trophy, yeah, it was amazing for them. Best day for a very long time. Long live the memory. The celebrations were great.
Yeah.
But it was the worst thing to ever happen to that club at that point, winning that trophy, because it masked over the terrible season they had. It masked over the Ange reign. It masked over the fact that they're actually not a Champions League level football club at the moment. And it just threw everything off. And all of a sudden you're hearing now going, I mean, Tom's saying it the other day, he's going, oh, well, at least we played attacking football under Ange. But you lost games because of that.
Yeah.
Whereas I look at Frank and I just think they're so much more better organised. I know they're losing games, but they're better organised than they ever were under Ange.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think it's just your standard mid-table manager moves to top 6 club and they're out their depth. You saw it with Potter. You saw it with Nuno when he went to Spurs for the first time. You've seen it with many United managers. David Moyes going from Everton to United didn't work out.
Does he need time though? That football club, they finished 17th last year.
He probably does need time, but football, there is no time. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you're not an Arsenal, you're not getting time as a manager.
But what fantasy land are we living in? Like, I think Tottenham fans think in their head they'll sack Frank and get Iriola or Glasner. I don't think they will. They won't.
I think the only reason he's not getting sacked at the moment is because there's no managers in the manager pool. That's what I think is slowing his sacking at the moment. I just think it's very toxic at the club at the moment. You've got fans booing their players. I don't think it is just on him. I think it is the players. Obviously, Vicario got booed the hell out of the other night when he gave away the Fulham goal.
I just don't think he's as bad as Tottenham fans think he is. I think there is a manager in Frank, and I think, you're not going to get the prettiest football. You're not. With Thomas Frank, you're not going to get the most beautiful football in the world. But I just think there's so many problems at Spurs last season, and they won the Europa League, they got into the Champions League, and all of a sudden everyone was praising Ange. But he was terrible. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
He was so bad at Tottenham, and I just think I just feel like the defence was more out for Ange than it was for Frank. Like, this is a manager that cupped his ears to the Tottenham fans when they scored a goal and went, "What are you doing now?" and Tottenham fans just forgot about it like it was nothing. And yet Frank defends one of his players and says you shouldn't be booing a player. Not really a true fan if you boo a player. And all of a sudden it's, what is this manager? We've never seen anything like this before. How can he say this to the fans?
I just don't think Thomas Frank. It's going to be a weird comparison here, but I was listening to an old podcast the other day. It was a Brighton one, and we had it when with Ttile, when he had his bad run of games last season.
Well, it was a 7-0.
It was after the 7-0, yeah. And one of the factors I heard, and I do actually agree with it, is there was no connection with him and the fans. Like, we've just gone from De Zerbi, who was giving it all on the touchline, went over to the fans every game, would celebrate with the fans, have the scarf up, everything. So we had that connection with him. It felt like he was a Brighton supporter when he was at us. And I think that's what some fans at Spurs probably thought with Ange. Oh yeah, he's one of us. And then Thomas Frank's come in, same with Fabian Ttile. They're a bit more calm, they're a bit more collective. They don't play the fancy football, tiki-taka, possession football. They don't always come over to the fans. They don't always, don't want to say give it them all. But yeah, they lack that connection between the fans. And I think that's what's happening with Frank and Spurs. There's no connection with the fans and Frank. It's just, he's the manager, you're the fans. And then his comment the other day going, you're not a true supporter if you're booing our players. And then when there's no connection between him and the fans are going to go, why is he saying that? Why is he taking a dig at us? Whereas if there was a connection, they'd be like, okay, fair enough. Do
you know what? He makes a good point, because Mourinho used to say some things to Chelsea fans. Sometimes in the media, Mourinho used to be brutal at Chelsea fans. Like, he used to sit there and go, how do you expect? Where are your standards as a fan base if you're not singing? How do you expect us to play well when you're not singing and back in the team? And we accepted that. And Mourinho was brutal. Do you know what? That's a fantastic point, because I think Mourinho was brutal with Chelsea fans. Fergie was brutal with. Look at Pep. Pep literally says and goes, "Why are we not turning up to a game? Like, where are we all? We can't call ourselves fans. Like, when we haven't got any atmosphere, you're not singing, you're not coming to the games." Like,
well, Klopp with Liverpool. Klopp's come out probably so many times complaining about Liverpool fans or whatever, and they went, "Oh yeah, he's amazing," because there was that connection, there was that fan base and manager connection. So if they were going on a poor run, you kind of put it under the rug and go, well, at least he's trying, he's doing his best, whatever. And we had it with when Ttile first came in. We were like, oh, what's the point in him? He's useless. We've just gone from De Zerbi. And De Zerbi was one that would say outrageous things about the fans. But we would go, he's got a point. Whereas now, Thomas Frank comes out and goes, if you're booing our players, you're not a fan. The fans are uproar because they don't like him in the first place. There's no love there. So they're already on that defensive, and I think that's what the issue is with Tottenham fans.
It's very hard, isn't it? Because you look at it and you just go, I think Tottenham fans, and I said this to Tom, and I don't mean this in a horrible way, I think they live in a bit of a dream world. I think they go, well, let's just sack Frank and bring in Iriola. You're not going to get Iriola. Iriola is not coming to Tottenham. And Glasner. You think you're going to get Ollie Glasner? He's sitting there moaning about the current owners at bloody Palace. He's not going to go to Tottenham, where he's not going to get backed. You sit there and you just go, they live in this fantasy world where I think they go, well, let's get rid of this guy and we'll bring in Guardiola. That's not going to happen. The reason you got Frank is because there was no one else out there. He's the best of what they could get hold of to fit the football club. And I just think, and I know it sounds crazy, and I know people might sit there and go, typical Chelsea fan saying this to give Tottenham a bit of grief. But defensively, and yes, they've conceded goals, and yes, it's not been great for them lately, but defensively, they are much better than they were. They by a stretch. And then you get this argument where they go, oh, we're still conceding goals. What about Fulham? What about this? What about that? You go, well, do you want to concede 4 or 5 again? Do you want to go to Liverpool and lose 5-1 again? Like, it wasn't. Ange created this by winning that Europa League. Ange created this mist in front of Tottenham fans where I think they went, things are better than they actually are, and they got into the Champions League. But I mean, let's be real, they should have got relegated last year. Any other league, they get relegated.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it was the season now, they're getting relegated.
They're down.
Like,
they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a mix between it's a mid-table manager going to a top 6 club and it hasn't worked. We saw it with like Graham Potter at Chelsea, and then it's a mix between the Spurs team is poor. Like the players they've got is very poor. If you're still relying on Richarlison up front, you know there's a problem.
But I sit there and say this as well. I mean, Tom raves about Pape Sarr. I don't think he'd start for Brighton.
Nah,
I don't think he would.
Know.
And these are the players that Tottenham are hyping up. And I think Van der Ven, another one. They laud Van der Ven like he's this saviour. And don't get me wrong, I think Van der Ven is a good player. But would he start for Arsenal? No. Would he start for Manchester City? No. Would he start for Liverpool even now? Touch and go.
Yeah.
I think he's just a good centre half. I don't think he's elite. And I think this is the problem. It
is a tough one, but I think everyone needs to take accountability at that club. Like, because Frank can't help it when Vicario passes it to an opposition player with an open goal. Like,
exactly that.
It's one of those. It's like when we got angry at Graham Potter when we couldn't score a goal. It's not like he got to come on the pitch and score the goals himself. It's the fact that the players aren't scoring. I think everyone's got to take accountability at that club. I think it's a very toxic place at Spurs at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a fan of that club at the moment.
Oh, no.
I agree with this though. I do agree.
Yeah, I think I do as well. It's not just Frank. I think it's a bit of everything.
Let's do some. That was good. I enjoyed that. Let's do some FPL chat. So Jacob, at current, unless Mbuemo's got a yellow card in the game, you are ahead of me. You finally pipped me.
Yeah, full time. It's full time. Ended 1-1.
Yeah.
And Mbuemo did not get carded. So
he didn't get carded. Well, so Let's do what we always do. We'll go through the top 5 of the Dugout, which is us, and then top 5 of the DS Podcast League. Currently top of the DS Podcast League by 1 point with 829 is Jacob.
Yes.
He's finally hit me. I'm on 828 in second. Third is Joshua Skelding on 807. Fourth is Sam Hepburn on 795. And in fifth is Jordan Botting on 790. So going into the Dugout, obviously, Jacob is top, obviously. Me second. Thomas is third on 781. Tom is fourth on 763. And in fifth is Josh with 760. Now, before we go into... I had an absolute mare this midweek. An absolute disaster. And I don't know how it happened. I looked at my team sheet. No, do you know what the worst thing was? I left my team. I picked my team. I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to go with here. And then I looked on Man City and it was 5-1. I was like, no, it was 3-1. I went, 3-1. Looked on. Haaland scored and he got an assist. And I went, get in. Finally, he's turned up. Look onto my team sheet and there's a measly 8 points. And I went, 8? He's at least on 16. 8? And then I see next to him a stupid V. And I went, what has happened here? I look over to Voltemada sitting there with the C. And I cannot believe my eyes. And I think what I did was I obviously didn't transfer in Voltemada, but I put him off my bench and put him in.
Yeah.
And obviously by doing that, I must have accidentally clicked captain. And made him captain, and Haaland went to my vice captain, which I cannot believe. And I was sitting
awful.
there, and then Haaland goes on, gets another assist, bonus points, and Voltemada, I'm praying for a performance. He has one cleared off the line. He gets an assist, luckily, which saved me from total embarrassment. And if I captained Haaland like I was and did, I would be top, fuming.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying it for a while. I was like, all it takes is 2 dodgy game weeks, and it's taken the next 2, the Saturday and then this midweek, and I've jumped him.
No,
I've had two phenomenal weeks. I think 70 plus on bite. Hold on, let me double check.
Every single one of your players has just hit. I've had people like Esteval taken off in the first half and Start taken off in the first half, and it's just frustrating.
You should have seen my face when Bruno Guimaraes wasn't even starting, and I transferred him in. And I was like, why is he on 0 points? The game was playing, and I was like, why is he on 0 points? Let me see the lineup. He's not even starting. And I was like, I thought I was being so smart bringing him in. I was like, oh, Spurs, he always scores against Spurs, and he doesn't start. And then he came on second half, scores, and I'm like, oh my God, it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Well, my midweek transfer was Timber, and he came on in the first half and didn't get the clean sheet points.
Yeah, because he didn't start.
So. He didn't start. Ridiculous, fuming. He came on literally in the first half. You've got to give him clean sheet points.
It's because he didn't play 60 minutes. He played under 60 minutes, so he didn't get it.
Just ridiculous.
I mean, I'm annoyed because I had him as well.
Yeah, well, I've done a big step this week because I need to pull it back. I'm free hitting. I've free hit.
You actually?
I've done it. I've done my
Is that all your chips done? Is that all your chips done now?
That's my final chip done, and I feel like I've spaced them out quite nicely. Actually, my triple captain was brilliant. My wild card was brilliant. My bench boost was terrible. And then, of all the weeks I bench boosted, was my lowest week. And then my free hit, I'm praying comes up. I'm really praying comes up. And then the week after, we get 5 free transfers because African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, I've got a good team. I'm obviously going to do the transfer because we're getting extra transfers the following week, so I'm obviously going to make use of the transfer.
You need to get rid of them all.
But yeah, no, I've got a good team ready for next weekend. I can't hate it too much, so I've just got to keep it now. I've got to keep having good weeks.
They're back to United against Wolves, and they've drawn tonight, which makes me sit there and go, Will they?
Wolves are poor. There is no way in hell Wolves get a win out of that game.
Yeah, but this is Man United, mate.
yeah. It's very, 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 very true. But it's very close in the league at the moment. You started getting away a little bit, and I was like,
I was 50 points clear at one point, and I've literally. To be fair, you've only just about caught me up. You're 1 point ahead of me.
Yeah.
So it's not like you've gone miles clear. So I'm still in.
I was third a few weeks ago. I was third. Thomas was beat. Yeah. Well, none of his players started. They were still benched.
So Thomas is paying the £5 for the midweek, which is exciting.
He is. Which I will pester him as soon as I finish this podcast.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him. Literally, I think there was at one point there was 6 of his players on 0 points.
Yeah.
You know, you're throwing your phone at images like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd be pissed. I'd be so angry.
But yeah, I'm free hitting, so I haven't got a transfer, and that's my last chip. And I just went, I've got to get rid of it because you've got to be clever with this game week as well because players have played in the week. Will they play on the weekend? Yeah. So I've been clever. And I'm going to wait right up, and then I might make some changes. But
I'm not doing any transfers yet. I'm going to wait.
No, you get your when you have a couple of bad game weeks, you get in your head and you lose.
Yeah.
You lose it.
This is where you could start dropping. You could start dropping down that table.
No, you make mistakes. So I've got to get my head back in the game and confident. It's like we were talking about, it's confidence. When you're confident and you're miles points clear, you're fine. But when you start to slip and your nerves kick in and. Yeah.
Well, so that's what I mean. I think Tom had a good game week. He had 66 points, which put him above Josh again. They're having a little battle out in the bottom half of the table.
To be fair, we're miles clear. We're 48 points. I'm 48 points clear of Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At the moment, it's a title race between me and you. But I mean, it all can change. 2 dodgy game weeks, and we could be dropped off, and Thomas is top or something stupid.
Well, Josh is still. Josh worries me. Like I think he's been so poor, we've forgotten about him. But I think there's still a chance that come game week 38, he's sitting top of it.
But that's what I mean. Like he'll bring in some random 18-year-old that starts for Leeds who'll get a hat trick, and he would have triple captained him or something. That's what Josh does. Josh just pulls out the bag no matter what he does.
Yeah, it's scary.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he still wins it.
No, it's a mad one. But yeah, big week for FPL, the big week. We'll go through the fixtures quickly before we finish the podcast. And we'll just have a little chat about them all. Villa v Arsenal. Big game. Ooh. I mean, Villa are in great form. Arguably, you could look at this and think this is Arsenal's biggest test they've had in a very long time. because I don't think we huffed and we puffed, but I don't think we were brilliant. Villa, you were 2-0 up against them and they pulled it back, 4-3 winners.
Ollie Watkins hadn't scored a goal this entire season. We gave him 2 in the first half. Welcome, Dr. Brighton. It was so annoying because they looked so poor.
Here we go.
They look so poor in the first 30 minutes. We were 2-0 up. I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to be third in the Premier League. And as soon as Ollie Watkins scored his first goal, I was like, we're losing this game. As soon as he's not, I'm not even lying. As soon as that goal went in, my heart sank and I was like, we're losing this game. And what happened?
4-3.
We lost the game. Annoyingly, the ref had a poor game, but you can't blame the ref for shit defending. Mm-hmm. We could have drawn it in the last minute. Welbeck had a great heading chance, and then their keeper Bizot turned into Manuel Neuer. So yeah, I think that'd be a close game. Villa Arsenal. I think that'd be a very, very close, a very entertaining game.
Villa Park as well is not an easy place to go. If Arsenal go there and win, it's time to start accepting. I think this is a draw written all over it.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-2. I think this will be a 2-2 game.
Yeah, I agree. Bournemouth v Chelsea. Do you know what? Chelsea were, we were terrible against Leeds. It was the worst I think we've played all season. It was, Tosin Adrabayo, oh my word, it was just crazy. Sanchez went a bit bozo again. Bournemouth, though, haven't been great the last few games.
They're toxic at the moment. I don't know if you saw it. Their club captain, Tavernier, giving it to the fans.
Yeah.
It's very toxic at the moment, I think, at Bournemouth.
I rate Iriola so highly, but I think Iriola's just got. I think he's just done as much as he can with the club. I don't think he can make them any better than they actually are.
Are you away or home?
We're away, so we're at Bournemouth.
I wouldn't.
Not an easy place to go.
You say that. I wouldn't say it's a deadly stadium to go. There's only like 12 people in the stadium.
I've been there. I've stood in Iriola's.
It's such a small stadium.
It's tiny. It doesn't look like you should be in a football stadium.
I think you win that game, just about. I think you need to make a comeback from Leeds. I think you will win this game.
Part of me worries that we've just been that Bournemouth have been so bad they will just turn up in this game. And it reminds you know what? It reminds me so much of last year. Like everyone's talking about Chelsea being in a title race. Then we play a promoted club like we did last year with Ipswich. We drop points, and we did with Leeds this week, and then we lose 3 out of our next 4, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, you're nowhere near." I think this is a draw as well, but I do.
I'd say 2-1. You lot.
I hope so. Everton Forest. Dyche. What a job! What a job Sean Dyche is doing at Forest. What a job!
Yeah,
He's been brilliant.
He has, but against us they look very poor. That
True.
Morata, whoever his name is, useless player. But then, I'm going to be quite. Everton are looking good. Good goal result against Bournemouth. Jack Grealish scored against Bournemouth.
Yeah, beat United.
At Everton home.
Everton at home, so I think it's going to be an Everton win.
I think Everton win. Everton at home are a different team.
Actually, Dyche going back to Everton. Dyche going back to Everton.
Yeah, actually is. Yeah,
Dyche going back to
derby.
The Dyche derby. This game, do you know what? If you put this at the start of the season, you'd sit there and go, "Oh, this is an easy win." But I don't know. City Sunderland. Sunderland are a very good team.
Sunderland are going for Champions League football.
They were brilliant. They were brilliant.
They are 6th in the league at the moment.
Yeah, they're a very good team.
They've obviously drawn to Liverpool, drawn to Arsenal.
They beat us.
You. That screams goal fest. That just screams.
Do you know what, Jacob? I said the same 3-3.
I would not be surprised. I genuinely would not be surprised.
Do you know what the problem they've got is they've got this game, and then they've got the game after, and then AFCON players go. And they've got a lot of players that are going. A lot. Like a lot. I think half their team goes.
Yeah. Sunderland score goals. Sunderland, they beat Bournemouth 3-2.
Yeah, they're a very good team.
Yeah, I think this is a high-scoring draw. I think
City cannot afford to drop points in this game. They cannot afford.
They can't, but Sunderland are so unpredictable.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Unpredictable.
Newcastle, Burnley. I think Burnley have fallen into the promoted club phase. I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ollie, friend of the pod. I think even he's a bit like, we look okay, but are we Premier League ready still? No.
They just don't have the quality players. That's what they're lacking. I can see why they're playing football wise. It's just the players aren't Premier League players.
Yeah, I agree. I think Newcastle do look. They've been good last few game weeks. I mean, no, they drew against Spurs, but they're okay.
Yeah, I think it's like a comfortable win for Newcastle easily.
Yeah, I agree. Talking about managers going back to their former club, Spurs v Brentford, the Frank derby. Thomas Frank going back.
I really hope Brentford beat them, and then all you hear in the Brentford end is, Frank, what's the score? Frank, what's the score?
Do you know what if you speak to Brentford fans, they actually still love Thomas Frank. They've got
he left on a good note though. He left on a good term, didn't he?
Yeah. I think Brentford look good. They've got they're a good team.
They've got Thiago, second top goal scorer.
He's been amazing. They rested him. I think they knew they weren't going to get anything out of Arsenal. They rested a load of players. So
don't blame them.
But I forget the Arsenal game, because I think they went, we're not going to win that. But Brentford have been good. They've been very good. 8th in the Premier League they were at the weekend.
I tipped them to go down, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone did. But I mean, I said this at the start of the season. I said there must be a reason Keith Andrews has got the job. There must be a reason, and he's proven it. He's been brilliant. Spurs, I don't know. This screams bye-bye Thomas Frank, but I'm not going back to what we spoke about, but...
I think Brentford edge it.
Will get toxic.
I think Brentford edge it.
Yeah, I think
Brentford are a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brentford are a very good team. Thiago's on form, so yeah. I don't see Spurs winning it, but whether they lose, I don't know. Leeds v Liverpool. Now, if Leeds turn up like they did against us, they'll batter Liverpool. They will. They were brilliant. Calvert-Lewin looks like R9.
Leeds are such a weird team because they wanted Daniel Farker out not too long ago.
Yeah, I don't.
They wanted him gone, and now they're picking up results. It's like Liverpool are dropping points left, right, and centre. So
yeah, if Liverpool lose this, Slot is in big trouble. Really big trouble.
It also depends, because Liverpool did turn up against West Ham and got the job done. It's just
but that was an awful. I mean, not to go into the game we're going to next, but that's an awful West Ham team.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
You say that, they've just drawn today. They've got a result today.
True. Yeah, true. But I don't know. I think
tough. That's a really tough one. Draw. I'm going draw.
Yeah. Do you know what this is going to be? Leeds win or Liverpool win comfortably. It's one of those, in my opinion.
Depends what Leeds side turns up.
Brighton v West Ham. Or if Potter had stayed, it would have been the Potter derby.
We always beat West Ham. We always do it.
I think Brighton comfortable.
I think if we don't win this game, there's something wrong with us. The Villa game, I can.
De Kuyper's fully fit.
Yeah, De Kuyper. What you got De Kuyper in the team?
I'm thinking about it because he's playing left wing at the moment.
Yeah, De Kuyper's will be fit. Yeah, we just lost the game yesterday because we just couldn't defend, and I think we'll realise that now. I'm
De Kuyper or Van Heck at the moment. I don't know who.
He scored 2 yesterday.
I know. He's
great finish by one of them.
Van Heck's been brilliant this season. I have to be real. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, it should be a comfortable win for us. If it's not, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I think Brighton might edge that. Fulham Palace. Not sure about Palace. They're a bit of a confusing team as well because they either look really good or really bad.
Can I make a bold prediction?
Oh, here we go.
Glasner leaves end of season.
I think he could go before, mate.
Because he's doing exactly what Robert De Zerbi did with us. You get Europe, second season in, doesn't get the right back in, then comes out and goes, we should have invested, not saved.
Yeah, he's been very vocal.
And then they don't go far in the Conference League because they're about to get knocked out, he leaves at the end of the season. That's my prediction. I'll happily put money on it. He leaves end of the season.
I'm not.
He's too good for them.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's been brilliant. But yeah, it's one of those things where, especially when they lost Thursday and they didn't replace him. You know what I mean? And finally, Wolves Man United.
Come on, Wolves. Come on, Wolves.
Surely United. Wolves are terrible. They're awful.
They're praying for their first win.
If they beat this United team, Amarin should be sacked on the spot. He should be sacked on the spot if they beat
I saw a Wolves fan put on Twitter the other day, and he's like, everyone's talking about us chasing the Derby record. We're just trying to chase 3 points at this point.
It's true though. They're on course for it. They're in a worse position than Derby were at this point. In the season.
Derby's won a game by this point. They haven't won a game.
Yeah, United.
Yeah, as much as I'd love Wolves to do it, I don't think they will. I think United should win.
Well,
the quality United have.
For my FPL, I hope they bloody do. Because I've got 3 United players in. Stupid.
Jesus.
I don't know what. I've lost my head. I've really lost my head.
He's getting nervous. He's getting so nervous.
I know. I had at one point, I had bloody I had Xerxes in. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I was literally sitting there going, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I putting Joshua Xerxes in? I didn't have him in my starting 11. I had him on my first sub. And I was sitting there, I was going, I've lost my head. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why is Xerxes anywhere near my FPL? He's the most awful footballer I've watched in the Premier League. I sit there and I was like, right, David, you've lost your head here, mate.
You're going to be shoving in Dugout at some point and be like, what have I put Dugout?
Yeah, I'm really nervous. I feel like I need to give my phone away to someone actually relevant. And do you know what the worst thing is? Is that Hazel, my fiancée, she's just doing it because she just wants to be involved. But I literally do everything for her.
Yeah.
And her team has been doing. I've been picking her a better team than my team for the past 2 game weeks. She got like 70 points in the last game week, and I went, why am I sitting here on 31 and you're on 78? What have I actually done? Like, deserved it. I'm fuming. I've
Always
lost
the way. Always the way. Don't get too nervous.
Yeah, it's just fuming. Well, on this, I think it's time we said goodbye because I think Jacob needs an early night because obviously he's got to be up and running and on those Hyrox for it. But we will, Jacob, good luck for the weekend. You'll smash it. We're very proud of you here.
Thank you very much.
Keep doing it. And when hopefully we'll get you on the podcast next week and you'll be, well, I hope you're not.
Hopefully be alive. Hopefully be alive. I might turn up in a wheelchair.
We'll need to get a photo of you just to confirm that you're okay.
I'll log in and just be me in a hospital bed, be like, I'm paralysed. My legs are dead.
So no, good luck.
Brian have lost to West Ham. It's awful.
But in all seriousness, good luck, mate. You've done so well.
Cheers.
Keep it up, and then we'll see you on the podcast next week. Don't forget to, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click the link for Jacob's thing, hit a like on this video, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Dugout. Take it easy, everyone. Goodbye.
In a bit, guys.